I'm at Rambles day 18. It's a different location today because there's alarms, so it'd be easier to hear me in here. So at the start of the week, coming like that, I'm more enthusiasm, so that's what I'm doing. Um, Today's idea is I wanted to talk about learning and just accepting periods in your life where you are in learning rather than earning. I think from the lessons I've learned and from what I've read, people I've listened to, no matter who it is, it will talk about doing stuff to earn money in terms of putting what you learn into practice, but also trying to acquire knowledge. And I think when people talk about learning, period of learning versus period of earning, it's not necessarily complete split. Like you're only earning, you're only learning, you're only earning, and vice versa. What it really means is, are you striving to mainly learn, or are you striving to mainly earn? And I think that distinction is important because at all times you should be trying to earn and you should be trying to learn. But the ratio and the percentage of your time which is taken up doing each differs. Like for me in this moment, I don't know much. I only started doing learning entrepreneurship business properly a few months. I've been properly thinking about a year. So I've been properly doing it like 2 or 3 months, properly getting into it and trying to make money for myself. And I've realised in doing that, you need to spend the majority of your time learning, but also try to earn. So my time right now is between 60-40 and 70-30 in terms of learning because I don't know much. So there's not much I can learn from, as I can earn from. So the majority of my time I want to learn how to practice skills, learn new skills, get better at skills, so then I can implement them into the spaces where I can earn. And then as I keep on learning, and what I have to learn gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and the basics I've covered so the basics I've covered, and I know enough to earn a decent amount, then I can switch it 60-40, 70-30 the other way, where I'm earning the majority of the time, learning slightly less of the time. And I've realised the true impact of and the true way to know whether you've learnt or not is, can you earn from it? Can you implement that structure? Because in school we all just talk about practice, read this, read that, test. And when you get into practical element, you're like, the fuck do I do this? And entrepreneurship is all about learning through doing. So you learn your basics. For instance, funnels. For me today, I've been trying to read about 100 to 150 pages a day, like 2 books a week, whereby I learn everything. I'm reading this, making notes, whatever, come back to the book, make notes, and then I think, okay, cool. How can I implement this into my business? Okay, cool. So I can do this. I'm learning. And then I put it to practice and I earn from it. And then I say, oh, I did this well, did that poorly, did this well, that poorly. And I think that is when you truly see growth. And that is where learning can truly benefit you. I think I've talked about this before. If I haven't, I see loads of people who sort of just read and watch stuff and don't properly utilize the knowledge they're receiving. And you hear people like Andrew Tate talk about reading's a waste of time. When do you read a book and you never do anything about the information? And he's right. Reading is a waste of time. So is watching videos if you don't do anything with the information you're given. And I think that's down to the basis that people don't understand how to learn. And I didn't. And so what I found is useful for me and how I've grown the most and making the most money from that, or trying to make the most money from that, is through, okay, I have a video, this guy's made millions, cool, so he probably knows what he's on about. I'll watch this thing and I'll only watch this thing. When you're watching something, don't be on your phone talking and be like, oh yeah. Oh, that sounds interesting. Yeah. And you drift off. That way, you don't properly take in the knowledge. I'll wait for the lightning to go, thunder to go. Yeah, so you don't properly take in the knowledge, and that way you can't benefit from it. So focus, number one, that's strengthening your focus. And number two, you're actually absorbing all the information that you can. So by doing that, you then take in the information, write down your key points, in your own words. Then what I like to do is teach myself, okay? Teach myself as if I'm a 4-year-old kid who knows fuck all, right? So if I can teach myself in that, if I can explain funnels, marketing, sales strategies, whatever it is, to myself as if I was a 4-year-old in my own words, then I've understood it. Now I've understood it, I put it into practice. If you're in school, whatever it is, that's just doing equations, right? The real world examples. So for me, it's how can I put this into my business? Now I understand that. How can I put this into my business? Okay, well, I can link it here. Okay, I'll do that. And now I've learned everything from it, and now I try to earn from it. And then I go into the process of earning by plugging in what I've learned to my business, and then plugging what I've learned from with my business into a way that I can monetize it and make money from it. Okay, and then I've made money from it. And that's where you get good results. And you can be like, oh yeah, this didn't go well, this went well, this didn't go well, this went well. And then you can sort of chop and change and learn from it. And that's where true learning and understanding of the topic comes from. And that way you will cement your knowledge and get real world examples and be able to live the information you're receiving rather than just existing here. And I think that's what a lot of people lack. And I think if people made that switch, they would be able to progress so much further in their business. To which I hope I'm able to progress so much further in my business purely because I make that. I do that. And again, with these videos, I'm interested to see where I am in like 200 days just because I'm doing these things. I put the proof in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding, what I've been fucking saying is. So I'm interested to see where I've been in 200 days. Just so I can be like, yeah, that works. And again, this is like learning. I get my knowledge. I try to explain it in a way that, just is easy for me, my own words. And then hopefully looking back, I can see what worked for me and what didn't work for me. And yeah, that's why learning is such a valuable skill, but people don't utilize it properly. It's the same as schools and stuff. People try to read loads of shit instead of just putting it to practice. The more, it's like in anything you do. I did engineering uni. The more questions you do of a certain topic, the more likely you are to get a better grade. That's just a fact. Repetition is key. Practice is key. And in business, that is putting it into the real world. How can I use real money to make real money from it? Talking to real people, not just some theory or an algorithm of if I say this, then people will think this. No. Do it. And this is something I'm trying to practice daily and trying to get better at daily, so that hopefully one day I can show that it did work for me and people can try it and implement it themselves. And they can, and if they're like, oh, well, will it work? Well, yeah, I'm proof in the pudding. I'm the fucking pudding. So I hope to be a helper. I hope to be of value and help people understand what may and may not work through doing it, through exploring different avenues and ways I've found it best to learn and from the knowledge that I've obtained from various sources. We are 9 minutes 40 and 20 seconds left, so I'll have a little 20-second ramble about who knows what. Tomorrow I'll come up with 2 more ideas, things to talk about in terms of ways to improve, and I'll keep implementing the things that I've done so thus far. And right there, I'm a bit more enthusiasm. And that's 10 minutes. I've been Keenan. Peace.